Alright, so firstly, start things off, you do a D5 TAS accel here. Be sure you do a full jump on the second jump. And then we'll just go through the level as usual. Oh yeah, be sure to kill this koopa. You can just shoot a shot like right here. And now we go here. So firstly, this jump to the pipe is a frame perfect A press and release. So you have to press A on frame 41 and then it is a 11 framer. An 11 framer. So now next is this shit. So first, let's start with the left press into the pipe. So this is actually a 2-frame window. So this frame works and this frame works. Now, something that can happen is you can press it 1 frame or later than that. What will happen is after you do these inputs, you'll get 144 accels, which is not what we want. It doesn't work. Only 143 works here. And if you press left a frame earlier, you'll just not clip in. And oh, by the way, if you press left even later, you'll just not clip it either. So yeah, it's a 2-frame window left press, and then afterwards, so basically, this left press right here, you can do it at any time and for either 1 frame long or 2 frames long. So by the way, what I mean by any time is any time after you land on the pipe. If you just like buffer the left press into it, like that, or like that just does not work. As you can see, he doesn't accelerate as quickly. You have to like clip in facing right and then press left while you're already landed. But you can do it for 1 frame or 2 frames, and at any time either. Like you can do it like as late as here, and it'll work fine. And then after you do the left press, the reason this is why I did it early, by the way, is because after you do the left press, you want to buffer D plus R, which you can also do at any time and in any way. And then you do a frame perfect A press, 1 framer I should say, on frame 77. So that's the pipe done, right? So after the pipe is these 2 D plus Rs. So now I do them back to back just for the sake of the showcase, but I recommend doing them like separately. Like you could do them just to show. You could do one like here, and then you could do the other one like here, like for just as an example. But what the D plus Rs are is this one is a subspeed pause, so you just buffer D plus R and then jump on the first possible frame that you can, which will lose no subpixels. It's still C4, but it'll pause subspeed for a frame. And then the next one is a blazit D plus R, sorry, which loses 2 subpixels. That's about it. It loses 2 subpixels and it's a frame later than the subspeed pause. And then after you do that, right, you'll end up with either A2 or O8, depending on this left press right here. If you do left press a frame earlier, you'll actually end up with O8 after all that. But you both act the same way. So after you do all that, firstly, this jump on this block here is a frame perfect full jump. So you have to jump frame 37 because if you do it a frame earlier, you do not land on this block. If you do it a frame later, sorry, you won't have time to turn around because you have to do this jump very early on the block. So you have to do a frame perfect full jump here, and then here you do an RLA, frame perfect RLA, and then on frame 103 to be exact, and then this A press is 15 frames long, which is soon followed by a left press, which is 16 frames long, and leads into a frame perfect L to R, which this, this part of the setup is sadly the hardest, and it's at the very end. But if you do manage to get this down, afterwards is, well, I do a 2-framer here, but this is just a jump to the pole, top step jump. So you could do a 1-framer as well, it works the exact same way. And then, as you can see here, afterwards I get DBO. If you do the left press differently, you'll actually get DDO, by the way. Left pressing the piper there. But either way, you'll need to do a wiggle to get down to a range that'll work, because if you don't do anything, you'll just land in the pipe, or block, sorry. So let's say you do the wiggle optimally to where you get all the way down to D70, which, by the way, you can do the wiggle anywhere in the air, as long as you just don't do it too early, because there's actually a few frames where you're still accelerating here. As you can see, your speed is below 40, but as long as you do it after that, let's say you do it perfectly on D70. So, okay, ignoring this right press, by the way, because I'll show why I did that later. I'd recommend just doing a left press here, just timing a left press. If you get D7O and with the right subspeed, which by the way subspeed should not matter most of the time unless you get like a bad one like this, but most of the time the subspeed will not change anything. If you get D7O, it is not a 1 frame window, not a 2 frame window, not even a 3 frame window, but it's actually a 4 frame window on the left press, and you hold it as well. If you do it for another frame earlier, it'll just not work. But as you can see, it's pretty damn lenient. But let's say you don't get D7O. Well, the range that this can work is actually from D7O all the way to D10. So let me just show you that real quick. So here's D10. As you can see, it still works. Now you can't press left a frame earlier. It's a frame perfect left press now, but that means there's still a lot of leniency with this wiggle. And if you get like something like D3O, then you still have leniency on the left press. Like it's still a 2 frame window now, which is actually it's fine. And after all of that, the remainder is 0. Now, something I'll show is if you do a right press here, if you do like L and then to R immediately, what this does is it actually makes it actually saves the frame, so the remainder becomes 1. But this is just like completely unnecessary. You don't need to do this unless you get something outside of the range. So like I said, it was D10 to D7O, but if you get CFO, for example, this actually works. And it's still R1, but that's a very specific case, and most of the time you're not even going to be able to react to that. But I'm just, putting that out there in case, in case you want to get like a swag extra frame or something. So yeah.